Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and happy 10 years of New York Rangers fandom to myself in honor. Um, Everything is coming to bless that we all gather up with families, friends, relationships for this time being. But yeah, I just want to just make a special word to not just for the people who are, you know, in spiritual wise with Christmas, or they celebrate something else with wise and different what holiday is, or the people are still in doubt with with sorrows and deepest troubles that we all see around the world is. Just want to give a good shout out. You always have the person that you should love with, or be inspired by these words, like like me or such others that give out good words to people, like, hey, you're not alone. You always have great people in your life. Other the things, like respectfully praise the Lord if you're kind, or some other things that you need to look upon to. Just keep on relying, keep push yourself, believe yourself. The long run, because what made you today is what that person you rely on the most, or certainty with God, or people will consider differently. That's what made you special, and we all celebrate with a great Christmas, and that comes in the run, spiritually. But yeah, just hoping to get great words out there for y'all guys. Just give it a good note. But yeah, you always been loved by anything, or any person that you do there. But anyways, um, yeah. So 10 years, man, with the repping the Rangers. I just want to give like a little thoughts of my favorite things about throughout the years. I loved watching them, and especially the times that they had a rough ass season, but hey, they sparked my heart, that they made to me a fan to grow up these certain ways. But first off, what made me have a great first time being a Rangers fan, which is exactly 10 years ago, Christmas Day. Um, it was happened to where I was asked for, like, I just want to see what other sports is out there, like, to play with my PS3, or just discover something just out of the video games. So I was like, okay, I want to see what hockey is, and then of course I watched some Stanley Cups as I, grew up watching sports all around. Um, and that's why I was like, hey, since looks interesting, the sport is, I quite see a lot, somewhat with the Stars games against times of they fought against good teams like Blackhawks. I think one time Calgary Flames, but they're kind of like mediocre. But same freaking conference people they always face, and I get um, bought out to watch a game when they actually win some crazy comebacks. Um, Even though they're a good team, but I with this team, but respectfully. But so yeah, I was asked for Santa at the time, like, maybe if I asked for an NHL game for my PS3 and see if they give it a shot. So the wishes came true. I was in the nice list to get that, and that's where I got NHL 13 for the PS3, and I first tried it, and it was pretty cool at first. And I checked out with all the Eastern teams, like maybe likely first with the New Jersey Devils at first, but I was like, that's a cool team, but I'm like, yeah. It's like, it just oddly feels weird for Devils for some reason. So good thing I wasn't in that path. But even though they're kind of closely with the Jets or Mats thing, like, no, they're from New Jersey. Speaking of Devil, but get it. I said that. So I looked secondly with the Rangers, and they have a good roster with, of course, Hank, which we'll discuss about that. What made me liked him so much, or inspired. Um, So he was in that roster. Del Lozado was there. Chris Kreider, of course, longtime Ranger. So know there'll be some guys that I count to remember, but I know those guys for a long time. Or Brad Richards, but yeah, those are really good skaters at the time. And shit, what happened this season? I had nobody like that. But anyways, so I played it and I was into like super duper into hockey, and what made me so love about it. I mean, they were kind of a super team at the time, but um, uh, man, I wish they could have won some rings and to be inspired. Like, oh yeah, I mean, like it's kind of clear that it's not meant to be for those seasons, but we'll get to that later to explain that those seasons are important. That should though known they could have won some, but um, so that follows on. I was playing the season mode with the Rangers. It was fun. I didn't complete the NHL 13 game season because I was kind of slowly like um, wanted to get to the newer games. I was like I think it happened like a year after I first got the game. So I was like, okay, so I get the new game and watch them play. That's where like, okay, I just want to see what's up. And they had a great season so far throughout the 2014-2015 season. They were like the best known President's Trophy team at the time. But it was a great ride. At first, my most favorable game of that season was Game 7 against Washington Capitals on the second round. My God, what a crazy comeback by Derek Stefan. He's like my second all-time favorite in my books. I mean, most people say they thought it'd be wrong to say like he's like kind of like my best to go to as a Ranger favorite team. Like, to be honest, he's the reason why he carried us to most games. I mean, it's just not just him, but normally the most all-time favorite I love is Hank the King, which 30 patch right there. You already saw my jersey. He is the reason why we have efficient seasons. Even though later on he was getting owned, he went to a different team that we don't like much, the Capitals, and he had a heart surgery or something. Yeah, he has a heart surgery that he had to put a step down. Health comes first, dearly to him, and what he inspired me is to just be himself or do yourself, and keep things going. If you lost some important games out of your life, who took the blame? But I mean, I'll always blame the Igor Shesterkin could do shitty things, but they both are great goalies. But himself, Hank, man, he was balling like crazy. He was the most go-to goaltender that ever, as a non-Stanley Cup winner, that does great things. As many saves, or he has won like so many games, like closely. He almost broke the record, but slowing down was, his not just for his age closely, but just I think for his condition health, that was hard things happening, and but nothing wrong with it. He's still doing good. I believe he's still doing this day. But yeah, so notably for that season, take that reasonings that I love so much for Hank. So man, that game was taking what become me, why I become a Rangers fan. So and of course that stupid ass team that cock block us every time. Tampa Bay Lightning, yeah. Don't get me started with them. They not meant to be those Stanley Cup contenders every time we step into the conference final. Sorry. I'm sorry. You deserve a loss every time the next round hits, because karma hits you, Tampa Bay. okay, you guys win Stanley Cups and shit. I think that's been pulled off and been provided, or it's fluked so many times. But who I care about talking about them? Um, but yeah, that's one of my favorites. Years with them, and of course that one game that I went to that before COVID that hit, and lucky lucky it didn't happen to where it stopped that game or stopped the season there, because I was waiting to watch that game from March. I think it was March 10. I think yeah, it was March 10. Easy to remember, 2020. I was in the good seats in the low plaza area whenever I see them in Dallas. I was in the 1116 plaza, and I see them in touch. I was like, man, this is very different from my other last three I went to the games. But even though the first attendance, which I'll get that to later, um, man, it was freaking phenomenal. I was enjoying myself, and we just scored 3-0 at the time. Throughout the first two periods, I'm like, I was livid. I was screaming, and I luckily had a puck that was up tossed to the grass whenever Mika Savedic made it throughout the out of bounds. So it was only tipped off, and it hit the tip glass, and for sure, it was cold. That bitch was cold. The puck, which I'm gonna show you the puck looks like, and you'll be shocked what it is, and I'll show you in a sec. So here it is. As you see, this is the game puck for the Stars when they played at the time. I did record it at the time that whenever I first got it, and it showed the mark of the glass that got tipped off, but so cool. As you can see, it's kind of like, hey, you see that? Oh yeah, you could definitely see the mark right there. So right there is where the glass hit so hard, or it could be this side that slid off to the glass, and the glass was chipped. I'm not sure no one was able to see it, but it was like barely hittable marked right there. I was like, and then nobody's in front. In my first three rows, they were there at once, and they left during the second period. I was like, okay. And I pick up myself up, and all the Ranger companies are like, "Oh my god, you got the tuck, yay!" And all praise me because I was well nice. And I was like, that's what normally best fan bases are. Just respectfully, they're all awesome people. Every sport that I love, they all respect the people, and I have great friends like that. So, but yeah, this is the game puck that I first ever got from the game. I kept it for you. I kept it for you. but yeah, it's memorable. I got other collections of the pucks, which I get to that later, other videos later. But yeah, so I just wanted to just keep it a little bit some of what the most favorable Rangers games are. But the first ever attendance with the game, it was ever like livid, and I was like, man, I just want to go again, just go again every year to come by to Dallas, man. It's just my thing. So either they had a sucky season, winning season, somewhat season, hungover season, I don't care. I'm still seeing them play. Just how much I love the team so much, I'll go see them. But that time, my dad was first bought out those games for my early bird birthday. So it was like 3 days away before my birthday. It was December 15, 2016. That's the year they went to that playoffs, and they used Hendrik Lundqvist and Ante Ranta that game against the Stars, and I first got scared about Hank. He first got knocked out pretty ugly guess that skater, I forgot his name. I think it's Heskin or whatever. I don't know. It's some defensive asshole. So, or I think it was at four. It was a little bit of a long time, but forgive me if I don't know that certain player, but I'm pretty sure I know. But I mean, it's just hockey is, because that was ugly for a goaltender hit like that. He was like freaking helicopter. He was like, whoosh, he got first knocked out, and then he was kind of walled up, and then that's where Ronta took the spot, and he made it so hold the game so much, and then when Hank come back the third period, I was shocked. I'm like, oh my god, he's okay, you know. Well, they finished the game. Rick Nash, man, he finally scored at first in the game of the whole game. And now we score. Matt Zuccarello made it to the empty net, 2-0. That's what the game was. And I firstly close to the tunnels, seeing the Rangers. Man, I cannot. I had this footage and stuff that it was so good, but maybe there's another time I could show it later with all the things like the puck, the incident, and I was close to the walkway room, and I can't actually lie. I missed a shot to where there's a couple of guys went out to cheer on the rail, which you cannot touch them or fist bump them on that American Airlines Center for some fucking reason. Stupid, but which we'll get to know. I get to know later, but I'm just still trying to find out why. Probably for like intentional like fandom base in case they find a fight. But who wants to fight them? They're fucking Rangers. But anyways, so um so yeah, I was cheering them on and stuff. Someone looked at me, Rick Nash. I know you're and what's funny about that, which speak about him, not only I was like in was well contacted with him, he also was watching. I don't know if it was the next game next year after, or it was one of those two games that they first two lost. I first saw them in a row, and he was one of those games with his wife, I believe, and it was right a couple rows down. I was like, oh man, is that Rick Nash? And I told the guys, my right, my left, like, or no, somebody else, because I was always watching myself sometimes, and they were saying like, yeah, I mean, his hairline looks pretty familiar, and his face is like right there. So I was like, yeah, you want to make a shot saying his name? I'm like, oh no, I wouldn't mind. I'm thinking I don't want to disturb his peace watching the game, but I probably will do whenever it kicks the intermission and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And then they shot his name. Hey, Rick Nash, and he tilts his head like this, like, and we're all way back. It's like, and I was like, ooh shit, like I kind of like look nervous and kind of cool about it because I think he was retired at the time or he got hurt by the other team, but he that's like one of those things like you don't see that every day with or a celebrity or something or any hockey retirement people or retired hockey players. They're always watching some good spots, but I was in the good plaza floor, so I could always see something like that's probably rich people there, rarely like Rangers players, which I'm shocked about Rick Nash there. Pretty awesome. But yeah, so man, I grew up loving the Rangers so much. There's so many things I want to say. Um, the times that we were contenders for a long run and we lose so many stupid ways, including this time that we were just bummed up, losing players now, importantly. Money's talks, best move for the team, best move for the coaches, staff, whatever. We all die hard, we all bleed blue hard. Excuse me. And that anything that goes on, that's what the Rangers notably play for in New York. And I appreciate the Rangers that made me the best fan for them or such others around the world. It really means a lot from these 10 years. And, pretty sure one day they'll kick ass and get that cup going and finally raise up above their heads. Maybe it could be a long time to wait. Maybe something that's gonna be pretty quick that we know it, but they gotta try hard and just not lose every game against the important teams that they always come about in ECF finals. You know, they gotta do better. But yeah, um, yeah, just everything else. Oh yeah, and also with the visit at MSG, man, I was livid. Visiting New York twice was the best things in my life, and and now I visited one of the greatest stadiums of all time in the world. Um, just went to the tour, see what the plaza is, what the venues are, the suites. Man, they're pretty clean, to be honest. You know, of course they have that train station, the Pennsylvania station. There normally it's like the stop for subways. Um, but yeah, everything about it, man, is so cool. Man, I wish I could go back there again, just watch games and stuff. But I'm stuck in Texas, just do my own normal life. But yeah. So, well, just want to say happy holidays once again, and happy 10 years New York Rangers. Of my life being a fan for so long. Hope many things will come true for us to win one day for one season, or some what seasons are a part of our lives. Maybe it could be the part of time that we could finally win. Um, you know, win and lose, I'm there for the greatest pain of my life. So, alrighty, folks. Well, thank you for watching this video. Please go celebrate biggest time of your life, especially for this upcoming New Year's. It's all coming to restart for time of our life. You know, it's one time only, and keep yourself going, be yourself, and be awesome. Or follow what Hendrik Lundqvist says, or the hockey players you like, or other sports athletes, or celebrity, or anybody, All right, well, enjoy yourselves, Christmas-wise, Hanukkah, Qantas, whatever. Enjoy it, okay? Alrighty, gotta celebrate. Woohoo! Let's go, Rangers!